All right, welcome everyone to 2022 Drone Tournament Challenge webinar. I thank all of you that are present today, and I will start first showing you the agenda for today, and then talk a little bit about the challenge. We're gonna go through in detail about the challenge in the Q&A and in the end of the session, and then I will pass the word to our speaker that will present you each one of the challenge and also the company sponsoring and giving the challenge to you. So first the agenda, we're going to have the introduction from UltraHack that is happening right now. Then we have the presentation of the last mile logistics. Following by that, we have the GNSS landing and navigation challenge. And last but not least, the presentation of BFLOS Flight Over 5G Challenge from Telia. After that, we're going to go through the practicalities and how you should register for this drone tournament this year. And then we have the remaining time for questions. A little bit of view about the challenge. The first one, that's going to be the first presentation as well, is like the Stara Last Mile Logistics Challenge. And in this challenge, we ask teams to deliver critical materials to a boat, simulating real-world delivery needs. Packages will be retrieved on land and delivered to their target and the sea as the final destination. The second challenge, we ask teams to use GNSS and RTK to fully automate flying out and landing on a moving boat. So it's gonna be super interesting and also like new. And the last but not least, we ask teams to aim to control the flight operations using video stream while controlling the drone over the Telia 5G mobile network. Teams also will get points if they locate the boat and more points if they fly on the top of it. And of course, you get the most points when you land on it. And those are the three challenges that we also gonna go through in detail throughout this webinar. And first presentation, we have Stara, a trusted partner for the Finnish capital, and I would like to welcome Stara to the stage to talk here to our participants.
Yes, okay. I think that our unit leader Sami Aherva isn't here, but I'm here. My name is Paavo Lehmonen. I'm a development manager in Stara Logistics. Stara is, like we say, trusted partner for the Finnish capital, and we are doing following TIA is what we do. Can you change that, or can I? Yes, I can. An internal service enterprise. We are doing what we are since 1878, and we have approximately 267 million turnover in and 1,500 personnel approximately. It varies in summertime and so on. And our CEO is Timo Martiskainen, and we are our largest client is City Urban Environment Division in City of Helsinki. This is our service chain. What we are doing: city engineering, construction. We are building streets, and we maintain also this construction engineering. That we are all construction what are owned by City of Helsinki. We are making them better and building them also. City entering maintenance is what we are doing the most. What are you seeing in winter time? Stara's blokes and lorries are removing snow in the streets. And also what I'm doing, logistics, we having fleet management, and we develop also that fleet management in city of Helsinki. Yes, and then we have also that environmental management, that we have Tuomarin kylä and Haltiala, and there we handle fields, and there's also sheep and cows and so on, that we are maintain in large, very varied services to city of Helsinki. That is same as I shown in the last dia. So what are we doing, and that logistics, what we are doing? Here's some narrative to what we have leads to that drone services. There is a planning in construction site in Jätkäsaari, and also planning construction site in Suvilahti, which are quite big construction sites, what we are doing. Gas bell in Suvilahti, there is something missing, measuring the order, collecting of the order, ready to transport, delivery of order, and work continues. What happens usually, what we are doing is that those guys who are working here are going to get and those things in K-rauta or some ill places, and that takes hours and hours when they are going to get those things in the construction site. And that's why I haven't done those two builds. Something missing, work continues. What happened between those pictures? How fast come delivery? How much cost delivery? How much was emissions? How safe was the delivery? How long was workers and construction site standby? What else? And those are the questions what we want to know when we are planning the logistic services in Stara. And that's why we are here now in also that drone hackathon. This is the landing pad in summer 2022. That is our Haavi 2. There is it's a oil oil ferry or oil boat, oil collection boat that we are. This kind of vehicle is also in pelastuslaitos, and we have also this one, and we have also a little bit bigger one, also Haavi 3, and there is those measures what we are going to have, and the landing platform is going to landing pad is going to be in that vehicles, and it's move in summertime. There is some experience also what Stara is building project and logistics, but what we have done, we have done old museums, ex-hospital of Lapinlahti. We have made also that the social brewing lab, Panimo Ravintola brewery, and also City Hall is what Stara has done. And drones are being used in a broad range of applications, but what now we are focusing is that logistics. What benefits we are going to have from drones, and what benefit we are going to get in Stara and city of Helsinki. And that was my part of presentation. One. And
All right, thank you so much for the presentation. We will move now to the second point, and in the end of the presentation, then everyone can ask questions. If you have questions during the presentations, you can already drop the comments in the chat. So now, thank you all for this part, and we're gonna move now for the GNSS introduction. I would like to ask if Martin could share his screen, or if you want me to go, because I think it's better if you share your screen.
Maybe I can take control over your screen. Let's see if that works.
All right.
Yes, let's try it this way.
Yes, I'm in control now.
And we can jump to, yeah, okay. First of all, before I jump into the presentation, let me, on behalf of myself, my name is Morten Ström I'm with uBlocks, and with me here in this challenge also later on will Gustavo from Septentrio. I will give over the word to him. But on our part, let me thank you all for being here and for giving us the opportunity to do this together. We at uBlocks and Septentrio take part in this event for multiple reasons. First of all, it's fun. It's great fun, and but also the challenges you see here in the tournament are quite relevant for the use cases of our customers, of the customers of uBlocks and Septentrio. We see a lot of activities among our customers in this first and last mile delivery. And in this challenge that I will talk through in the high accuracy RTK, it's very, very interesting and very relevant for us as company, and to understand the use cases well, to understand and know where the difficulties are, to learn from and pick up innovative ideas and eventually bring better products to the market and to our customers and to our end users. And if I walk through, so Francesca gave a very short overview of the challenge. Here a bit more detail. So in this second challenge of the three that you will have, you are challenged to use, with the help of GNSS and RTK, fully automate the UAV, the drone, flying out and landing on a moving boat. We will help you. We will provide uBlocks as well as Septentrio hardware to help you do this, GNSS receivers, RTK receivers. We will also help you with correction data. We will have a base station on the shore. We will also have a position of the boat coming in, so you will know the position of the boat in real time, the heading and speed of the boat. And using these data streams, where you will have the GNSS position then in centimeter accuracy at a high update rate, you will be challenged to then land the drone on the boat. We will have a dedicated webinar to this, and Gustavo will give a bit more details on this webinar on a last slide in his part here. And in this webinar, we will go into more depth on the technology and on the challenge and on the details of the setup. But today we will stay on this quite general level. Before I give over to Gustavo, I will have one slide to, if you allow me, to introduce uBlocks as a company. I will try to very briefly tell you about uBlocks about who we are. We are a global leader in positioning and wireless communication. We are founded in 1997 with headquarters in Switzerland. So soon, some 25 years of putting out GNSS products. As a brand, it's maybe not so well known outside the industry, but we are indeed the market leader in many areas. There's a high probability that many of you in the audience have a car with our GNSS in it. We have a very strong market positioning in industrial tracking and navigation, and in the drone UAV industry, we have a very strong position with GNSS products in consumer, prosumer, and in professional drones. So I dare say that those of you in the audience that has flown with the UAV have used u-blox products knowingly or not. And for those of you in Finland, I can also mention that we have a lot of R&D, GNSS, GPS R&D in Finland. We have some 110, 115 R&D engineers in 2 sites, in Espoo and Tampere, focusing on GNSS product development. And we are with these people in direct contact with all the major UAV players around the globe. And of course, we always look for talent, and you will find a lot of interesting positions open on our website, and that could be one final reasons why we take part in this, to raise the awareness of these possibilities, and always on the look for talented people. So with that, I give the word over to you, Gustavo. I hope you're with us here, and let you introduce your company and a bit more about GNSS.
Thank you very much, Martin. Just make sure, I think I have control now. Yes, I think it should be fine. I guess you can see now the Septentrio slide. So yes, let me just introduce you as well to Septentrio, and I think, Martin, you have given a great introduction about how GNSS is really important in the UAV market, which is also very important also for Septentrio. In general, Septentrio is a company that provides also GNSS technology. We really focus on the GNSS elements side, especially on accuracy GNSS, the RTK type of systems with available side, and especially what we call the reliable side, the security of GNSS. As you can imagine, in UAV applications, that's quite important as well. It's becoming quite relevant to really have very proven solutions that can fly and that can be quite resilient. So that's also one of our important elements in the market in terms of the UAV side. Septentrio has experience with different type of applications from mainly, I will say, from the industrial market, not so much from the consumer market, mainly from the professional side. And we have served mainly different type of applications, from heavy machinery, which could be bulldozers, etc., all the way to UAV. And actually, we are glad to be present in some of the most important UAV mapping solutions in the market today. So this is also quite great to hear. And yeah, we have, of course, different type of products which go all the way from modules to system products that sometimes can be also used as base stations. We have our headquarters are actually located in Belgium. So we are in Leuven, Belgium, for those of you who might know it. But we also have indeed a new R&D office in Espoo, so very close to you. So you will, during the event, I'm sure you will get to know also some of our colleagues. So please feel free to talk to them as well. So let me go now to giving you a general overview about the delivery, and I think that my colleagues already have talked about that in the previous slides. But let me try to understand the link also on how we see that with the GNSS aspect and especially the RTK side. Number one, we get to see that applications in terms of the last mile delivery are really increasing quite a lot. And there are two aspects of that. One is the ground side, which is indeed trying to bring some autonomous robots, robotics delivery robots that you will get to see in the market more and more. And then in the top side, you will get, as you can see here, you will definitely see the delivery drones. And for some people say, okay, is that really a use case for this type of applications or for this type of companies? Well, yes, there are different type of use cases where there is an economic value from this transportation, especially in that last mile delivery. Of course, the package will not come all the way from the factory to your house, but there will be a last mile delivery, which is actually the more the part that requires more efficiency and definitely automation in that aspect. So yeah, this is what I was telling you. Definitely there are companies that want to bring that value. Of course, some companies are also trying to bring delivery robots as a way of marketing, but you can imagine there is also a business value behind that. And here you can see a bit a graph that shows you when does drone delivery make sense for certain of these companies. That starts to make a difference, especially when you can reduce the delivery time maybe to around 15 minutes, or some people are even talking about half an hour. That's already quite good as a delivery time. If you can reach those delivery times, then it can make it very, very interesting in the business economical side of that. So definitely quite a lot of companies surely trying to bring solutions in that aspect. But it's not only the delivery time. You can imagine that in some cases, deliveries are very difficult in certain locations. Okay, this is maybe an exaggerated example to try to bring your postman all the way to the tower here, but there are several type of other places. You can imagine, as an example, medical delivery in Africa or other type of things, which definitely having a UAV delivery drone will make it much more efficient. So that's definitely why we see an important value. If we try to make the link of GNSS and RTK, call it u-blox, call it Septentrio, and how that fits in all these type of UAV applications, you will see the following. Normally you have a drone. That drone is normally departing from, I don't know, a stock house or a specific place where you are taking the package from. And normally in that aspect, you will need some accuracy of the GNSS side. You will also definitely need some security, some resilience to anti-jamming and spoofing, or some of the aspects that are affected by GNSS systems. Nowadays, it's very easy to hack a GNSS system. So you want that security, reliability once that the package is going away. Then during the flight, maybe the high accuracy will not be needed. Maybe just a half meter will be more than enough. However, the more important is to make that trip, let's call it, from the drone from one place to the other as efficient as possible. And for that, you will need, of course, an orientation that could help you. So maybe you could use a dual antenna GNSS system, which could basically take you from one place to the other. And again, of course, the safety elements become quite important. You don't only want that security of jamming and spoofing, but you also want to make sure that the GNSS position is as reliable or as trustable as possible. And this is, of course, quite linked to all the certification aspects, as you can imagine, that governments and are trying to bring into the UAV delivery side. So definitely you need that aspect, and definitely GNSS has an important role in that side. And then you have the final part, which is the delivery side. Definitely, again, accuracy becomes quite important. You want to make sure that the delivery package is put into a very specific place. Sometimes you even want to make sure that it's delivered into a specific orientation as well. So this is, of course, going to be the real interesting part and very fun part also of the challenge that we'll be having as well. Just to give you some concrete examples of what we get to see in the market. I mean, this is not only kind of news, but this is real projects ongoing in the delivery side. There is definitely drone delivery already going on in the intralogistics side. Some projects, as an example here, I put an example of Audi, which is actually having a pilot plant, actually already making some delivery of different type of components for the factory itself. Now, this is, of course, more of an indoors use case. So in this case, of course, GNSS does not really play an important role there, but definitely the delivery drone is already there. However, more in the GNSS side, which is the outdoors aspect, definitely we have two interesting examples, or even three. You have the number one, which is parcel delivery, we all know about the Amazon Prime Air side, and definitely they are trying to continue that project. They're having a few hiccups or time delays behind it, but definitely the technology is very interesting, and they have the goal to try to bring that Amazon purchasing as fast as possible. They are targeting the 30 minutes. They are trying to use VTOL drones as well for the delivery, fully autonomous. And the weight you can see already here, they can carry up to 2.3 kilograms of delivery packages. So very interesting project that happens here, and definitely Prime Air is not the only project in that side. DHL, UPS, etc. They are also having their programs also behind that. Then we have supply of medical goods, and I would say this is one of the more important delivery aspects, which I would say has already given some results in the business side. And I was mentioning the example of deliveries in the middle of Africa sometimes, where maybe there is no infrastructure properly to basically have the highways or the materials delivered, or maybe the materials sometimes unfortunately does not reach basically the final goal because of other type of challenges. So at the end, drone delivery is very important, especially in the medical side aspect. So this is also very interesting type of business. And here there's an example, of course, from DHL, also trying to work also in those medical delivery supplier side. And then the last one here is normally cargo delivery, which is a bit bigger packages, as you can imagine. It's not the typical 2.3 or even 4 kilograms. We are talking really about drones that are really bigger. Of course, there will be other type of challenges, but definitely they will also need some GNSS elements there, no? And definitely the security element even will be more important, as you can imagine, in this type of bigger platforms as well. So very interesting to see things happening nowadays in these projects, very, very real as well. So yeah, let me just go about the elements of navigation and landing in the GNSS aspect. Why is availability of GNSS important? Because of course, when we are talking about delivery, sometimes you will be working in urban environments as well. So that means that you might not have all the reception of the signal. So you want a very good available system also for those type of things as well. So good GNSS performance in that side. But yeah, there are other challenges. The drone might be moving due to wind, regulations and noise disruption. Some people really don't like the noise of drones. So there are some challenges definitely happening in the drone side. But I'm sure the market will start adopting this faster and faster. But yeah, as I was telling you, this urban canyon is a big problem. So definitely technologies, as an example, multi-constellation systems, which is not only GPS, but also maybe GPS Galileo, Beidou, GLONASS, etc. Extra constellations will definitely help you to have a more available positioning solution as well there. We were talking about RTK, and I think Martin was also mentioning it, that, I mean, the important part is in the centimeter accuracy. And in order to reach that centimeter accuracy, normally you use a base station. And definitely in this challenge, as Martin was mentioning, we will make sure that there is this infrastructure available on the site to be able to obtain an RTK solution itself. Definitely, we will also make sure that there is a way also to obtain the orientation side. But yeah, definitely, as we were talking about in the previous slides, that signal availability is also important, as well as the resilience to interference and the spoofing side elements from the GNSS aspect. So, well, this is, of course, a very quick overview of the delivery drones, the link to GNSS, and all the importance, especially of these RTK systems. But we will be having on May 25th the workshop, actually. So we will have there well, two separate workshops, because of course we have two GNSS systems, so they will have different technology implementations, as you can imagine. But we will definitely explain that to all the different teams. How is the GPS working? What is the setup going to look like? We will give a more deep introduction both for the U-blocks and the September GNSS receivers, so that the teams are definitely ready to be able to prepare for the challenge. So at that moment, of course, what we want to make sure also is that the teams also get some hardware. So we will definitely describe basically the offering to the different teams behind as well. So I'm looking forward, of course, to seeing you all there. And I think from September and Ublox, I think that's about it, Francisca.
All right, thank you so much, Gustavo, for your presentation. And as mentioned before, please feel free All right, thank you so much for your presentation. I am sorry that I cut out for a couple seconds. We will now start with the presentation from Talia, and feel free to ask all your message in the chat option. So I think now, Artu, you will get the control, I guess.
Okay, thanks a lot, Francesca. I will take the control. Excellent. So let's go to the Telia challenge. Thanks to Francesca, and of course thanks to the UltraHack and robot experts, and also all the partners, Stara, Ublox, and Septembria, to make this drone tournament finally to realize. So this interesting one to Telia, to an interesting use case for the 5C anyway, the drones, and especially behind visual line of challenge, line of sight flights. And this challenge, there's of course a possibility to use 5C connections in Helsinki area, and utilize that for the drone flights, and see how that works up in the air. Okay, maybe before really jumping into the all the cases or the deeper information. So from the Telia part, myself, I'm participating there, and there's also Tomi Saraisto here in the group as well, representing Telia, and there will be other persons as well joining to the event. And let me go through some of the experiments and trials that we have been doing at Telia with the drones and 5C especially. The first one is critical part delivery use case, and we tried out the delivery of defibrillators that are used when a person is having a heart attack and need to be able to recover that situation pretty fast. So we are talking about, let's say, seconds and maybe up to 1 or 2 minutes time frame when this needs to be used, so that the person we can still save the lives. And drones are one of the possibility to deliver those equipments in those situations very fast way. And we trial it out, 5C and drone together, to deliver that kind of parts, and that could be one of the examples that could be used. Of course, in the startup presentation and in the challenge, there are also elements of critical part delivery, and that may save some, let's say, operation time and save some other elements. In this case, we saved some lives. Second use case is 5G and real-time insights and video analytics related use case that we tried out here in the Helsinki area together with several partners. We were monitoring a large area with the drones, which was having a video camera, and that video feed was fed into the video analytics system and combined with some other data like satellite data or the gas related sensors data to detect the green-blue algae amount in the Baltic Sea. And then it was possibility with this combined data to provide some real-time insights how the green-blue algae was developing in the Baltic Sea. So that's a one example where we need the large area coverage, and the drones is one possibility to do that automatically, that kind of monitoring. The third use case we have tried it here, or is here as an example, is providing with the drones, with the help of drones, high quality video streaming to a group of people. For example, in the construction sites, there may be a need to do inspections, maybe even daily or weekly basis, to check how the construction site has been developed and check the status of the work and so on. And with the help of providing that kind of video streaming service remotely, persons, inspectors, subcontractors, and other stakeholders are able to, in a real time, check the situation using the video conferencing tools. So that's kind of a situational awareness type of services as well. So these are just some snapshot of the experiments that have been trialing and represents good use cases as a basis where the mobile connectivity could be used. Let's go to the next slide and extend this to other use cases. We were talking about the logistics, but it could be also search and rescue operations where the drones could be useful. And in those cases, you typically need to cover large areas and maybe even automate the drone flying paths so that these search and rescue operations can be done. Or the service is another use cases. Or if you think about large infrastructure cases like a railroad, road constructions, smart grid type of inspections to be done. So the drones could be an ideal way to do it. And those actually are in the large areas. So the mobile connectivity is there, an element to provide the connectivity, provide for first of all the control command for the drones, but also the data streams from the drones to servers and to the application wherever that is needed to be processed. We understand that there are still some barriers to use the mobile connectivity. For example, for the control and command part, there are some regulations that are kind of a little bit slowing down this. How to get it done, and that's why we want to kind of investigate and learn here how to use the mobile connectivity when you go beyond the visual line of sight operations. What 5G brings here? 5G promises a very high speed and a lot of capacity. That's maybe the one thing that has been realized at the moment. 5G develops in phases. So we are now, let's say, evidence. We are kind of seeing the first stage of the 5G at the moment, and we are going to the next phases at the moment that will add new capabilities to the 5G. Then we are talking about network slicing, edge computing, lower latency type of thing. Latency is one thing that to be mentioned here, which is critical for the drone operations, but it's not only the mobile connectivity latency, or the mobile connectivity is not the biggest part of the latency. It may be also where the application and how it's implemented is also important. And then we come to the edge computing, maybe moving the application that are running in servers, for example, in Frankfurt on Ireland to a closer where it actually happens. And then we talk about edge computing type of needs. And network slicing is a terminology which is used for slicing the current mobile public network to several virtual networks that are parameterized or tailored for each of the use cases. And in the context of drones, it could be so that the drones may have their own network slice, which is parameterized, optimized for the drone use cases to provide the quality of services, the needed capacity, the throughput for the drone operations to happen in optimal way. And 5G has several other characteristics, and maybe many of you have already seen the 5G promises, which are typically shown in a triangle picture. And there's this enhanced mobile broadband, which is now here in the bottom, which is adding the capacity, higher speeds. There is the Internet of Things, or the IoT part, massive IoT part, which provides lower energy connections, typically for the battery operated operations or deeper coverages to a challenging locations. And then the mission critical part, which provides the lower latency, higher reliability, and so on. So this is the promises of the 5G. And at the moment, we are here in the providing the enhanced mobile broadband with the current 5G capabilities. And the next phase is going more towards the mission critical part. Let's go to the next slide. So in the Telia challenge, basically, we are looking for the beyond visual line of sight operations. And if you think about the current model of working on with the drones, there is a pilot, there's a visual line of sight to the drones, so you can operate the drone easily, but that limits the distances or the areas to be operated with cost optimal way with the drones. That can be extended with the observers. So we talk about extended visual line of sight. So there needs to be some communication between the drone pilot and observers to make a safe flight. But when you don't have the visibility to the drone, so you need to have a good connectivity. Make sure you have the good connectivity to the drones when you are controlling that drone. And there's also need to be the connectivity at the different altitudes. There needs to be some information about the other objects that are nearby and so on. So this is the area that we want to understand better how the mobile network can be used here. So 5G for the drone operations means, first of all, higher bandwidth for the real-time video streaming. That is already easy, and those use cases that we have been trialing, so that's something that can be utilized here. Then a direct command and control typically requires lower latency part. So here we use the commercial network and its latency, what we are able to provide. In later, the latency will be even lower, but I would say that here is the possibility to utilize also the where the server is actually up and running. So that's a critical part here. 5G, it's a licensed spectrum, so a reliable communication. Only those SIM cards that are configured for that network can be used, and that license spectrum. So that's the one important thing. From the coverage point of view, this is interesting to us as well. So currently the mobile base stations and those antennas has been directed towards the buildings and towards the ground side, and not that much has been studied that how they are working really in the different altitudes. So we know that, okay, there is a connectivity, but how it behaves and so on. So that's something very interesting to us as well. There is also possibility to use the mobile network and its related insights. For example, kind of checking, I would say, the ground risk related information. We may have statistical data of if there are persons in that particular flight path from the statistic perspective. So that could be something that could be useful also from the mobile network perspective. Let's go to the next slides. So the simple picture of the idea of Telia 5G challenge to utilize the 5G for the behind visual line of sight operations is to get the video streams from the drones so that you know what you are seeing from the drone through or via the 5G network, and then test and trial how you could command and control the drones using the 5G. So basically you need to have then the 5G modems on both sides, so on the drone and then on the control side. They are coming also chipsets really specific for the 5G and drones from the Qualcomm later on. So we know that this is something that is developing, and there may be already not in Finland but in some other countries drones that are already supporting the LTE connectivity for this kind of operations. So this is something that is really coming up also to Finland as well, and we want to hear the test and trial with the teams how it goes. So what we are offering, so basically we are offering the commercial 5G coverage in the Laajalahti Bay. We are offering subscriptions prior and during the event. Then we are offering our mobile company network service that enables the team to create a single secure closed network for the subscriptions that are used, and it's a secure, very configurable network that can be used. And we are giving support for the teams for the 5G technology. More information can be found from the GSMA papers, from the ACJA papers, and so on. So there are more detailed information how the standards are supporting and what will come into this area. So that's my presentation. Thanks for everyone listening on this, and I'm sure that there are interesting drone and 5G use cases coming up. So back to Francesca.
Thank you so much for your presentation, and thanks so much to all the partners present here. Now moving on about the timeline. So we have now a couple more weeks to register. We've closed the registrations on 17th of May, and all teams must register on the drone tournament in UltraHack website. And you have here the QR code. So if you are on our call, you can scan it and register straight. On 19th of May, we will announce the teams, and the teams will be invited to the tournament. We will have on 25th of May a workshop for the invited teams, and will be hosted for 2 of the partners that we listen today. And it will be more about the practicalities and the technical side of the hackathon. Then we're gonna have the final tournament that will happen from 8th to 10th of June. And you can, of course, read more about this in the website. So don't forget to scan the QR code. You can apply individually, but of course, we encourage you to find a team. And the ingredients for a winning team is 1, start searching for teams member early, and also find team members that complement your own talents and expertise. And we recommend you a team from 3 to 5 people for this challenge. Don't forget that you can, of course, choose to participate individually. The prices for this challenge, we have a €5,000 cash prize pool, cool gear, and 5G phones by Telia. So this is the first drone tournament ever to ask participants to land on a moving boat. So be the first one to pull it off. What's next? First thing, you can register to the event. You know that the deadline is on 17th of May. Then comes the training webinar where you get to know all the practicalities and the technique side of the things. And in case that you don't have a team, you can specify on your application and we can help you to find a teammate. We can help you with the matchmaking. So if you don't have any friends that are interested to take part, then we can step in and help you. Don't waste time, and we encourage you to register now. As again, you have here the QR code, and in case that you have any struggles doing the registration or you are not sure about the things, you can contact Jana or me. That is here our emails, and we can try to help you as much as we can. Don't forget that on 17th of May, we will announce the teams, and right after that, we're gonna have the workshop. So that is like a lot coming, but we are really, really happy to have you on board. We will now open the room for questions for all participants and partners here. So feel free now to raise your hand and open your mic in case you have any questions. So the stage is now for everyone, I guess. So, any questions? Or comments? All right, I see the first question coming in. George, did I pronounce correctly?
Yeah, that's fine. It's Jorge in Spanish, but yeah, so thanks for all the presentations. And I wanted to ask first about the first challenge, because I think most of the details here were about the second and third challenge. So this package delivery, is it supposed to be also autonomous, but without the RTK GNSS solution, or is it about delivering the packages manually to the drone? And in addition to that, is it possible, are there any elements in the boat that can be identified like automatically from the drone, or is it possible to add anything custom?
Thanks for the question. And I think we have now here our partners to answer you. Someone wants to step in for the first challenge?
Okay, I try to answer that, but the target is to deliver the packages behind the vision and autonomously deliver the packages. That's the I think that that's the main focus of this delivery event. But if you are going, is Tero Vuorenmaa here now in this meeting? But we are going to give points how good you are going to deliver the packages. If you are going to have delivered that behind of visual delivery and to get into the middle of the target point in the pad, you are going to get higher points, and you are more you are going to be higher risk to win the whole event, and that's what we are going to targeting. I hope I said that right. That we are going to get a different kind of system. What we are going to help, like Telia 5G channels, and so that you are going to have to get help the technological logic to deliver the packages. And all right, if you want to go and do it manually, and you see and watch when you deliver the packages, that's okay, but you lose points. I think so.
Okay. Thanks.
Hope
Yeah,
I was Jorge. I was the right answer.
Yeah, it is a bit more clear. It's just, I mean, from what I understand, it might be wrong that there is also a package delivery challenge without the RTK GNSS. So in that case, we get like a less accurate position of the boat, and basically, if we have to land autonomously, is there any element in the boat that we can automatically detect any codes or anything, or will you tell this to us later? And maybe just the last question on that one, since we were talking about packages, do you have an idea of the size and weight of the packages that there will be? Is it like close to 0.5 kilo or 5 kilos? Because that changes a lot the size of the drone that we have to use.
Yes. Yes. We have decided. Okay. I'm not so good to make my homework because I think that we had decided that that delivery package is 2 kilos.
Okay, 2 kilos. Thanks.
Yeah, not because what is more what we need to know is how you can use the technology to deliver that system and pinpoint to landing pad is the more interesting than that packages itself. How you manage to make that flight and pinpoint in and moving target. And the packages came afterwards because we learned in that challenge how a drone service deliveries can take effort of this event. We want to help drone services to rise up. I think that's that's what
I want to step in a little bit there. So we will provide like 3 options actually for the packages, and they will be like announced like soon in our website. So we will still like announce what are the size and the weight of the packages, and you will have options. You don't need to carry the 2 kilos. So you will have options, and we will announce that later. And I think Tero is here with more information, right?
Yes, sorry, I got some outstanding issues. Was able to jump in just now, but yes, indeed, I would say that 2 kilos would be the maximum payload for, but definitely if there will be teams that the drones will be more suitable for lighter parcels, then it definitely it is as well possible.
Yeah, that's great. Thanks.
Thank you so much. Is there any other questions from the audience here? No more? All right, I don't see any other questions. Tero, would you like? Yeah, okay.
First of all, do you have any idea about the delivery distance, like between the taking off point and the boat?
Yeah, I can take that one. Just a second that I could share the. Give me just a second. I will take the Google map with the plan. What we have over there, that would be the best. Just a moment. If there is some other question, meanwhile, that I'm taking my map over here, so we can address this one within 1 minute.
I also have a second question. Do you know what kind of RTK device will be used?
That goes to Gustavo and Morten.
Yeah, I can take that one. So in terms of GNSS receivers, in the workshop of May 25th, we will definitely tell you which hardware is available for you. In general, from September, we have both single and dual antenna as options for the teams.
And for uBlocks, we will make C99 application boards available to you. That's a ZF9P GNSS RTK receiver, a multiband GNSS receiver. And yeah, we will have those on site, but of course you can also come equipped with your own gear. But yeah, you can have different starting points, but we will have these kinds of kits available for you that you can mount and that you can make use of, including antennas.
Yeah, thanks indeed for the clarification, Martin. Indeed, we will try to make sure that you get kind of an evaluation system which is easy to mount on the drones. I think that's the main goal.
Okay, thanks for the info.
Okay, can you see my screen?
Yes, we can.
Yes. So this is the competition area, and we have applied permissive UAS zone for this one, so that we can do PV loss flights for it, but still as for the security reasons or safety reasons, it's been limited in a way that the most farthest place of the area would be roughly 1.3 kilometers. So this is the competition area where, and the gray area over here, this is the area where the boat most probably will be somewhere in this area, and this is as well the flight area where the teams have to be staying. The red one over here, this is actually the permissive zone, but in a way there is then safety buffer just in case if something happened. So for your question that the farthest end it is a little bit more than 1 kilometer. So it in theory should be as well possible to do VLOS flight on it if necessary. But as well it's included in the permission area that there will be or actually the flight will be extended visual line of sight, which is in Finland possible when you do specific or when you apply the specific permission for the zone. So there will be 4 spotters in the area which is then isolated. This is the red one is the actual landing place. And then there will be a restricted area for outsiders that they cannot enter to this area. There will be 4 visual spotters, which are at the same time are acting as members or the staff that who is then indicating or saying for the outsiders if somebody is walking to in the path and wanting to enter to the area, they can say that you cannot use it, go around. So they work as visual spotters as well at the same time. And at the same time, there will be a boat in the area. So, and that boat, there will be as well a visual observer in the sea. So that's why we claim it that it will be extended visual line of sight, what we will do. But in theory, for the teams, it is like you would do PVLOS flight. But if in the safety reason for something is needed, the visual line of sight, then the team should be able in a way to switch from, let's say, so-called beyond visual line of sight to visual line of sight operation. Would that answer your question?
Yes, I got it. Thank you.
And Jose, you.
We have one question on the line, right, from Jorge?
Yeah, sorry, we insisting a bit on the previous ones because it's a bit unclear to me. So is there one part of the challenge where we also have to land on the boat without using the RTK GNSS? And in that case, how are we supposed to take the boat, or is it something that we will know later to achieve the accuracy necessary to land?
So there is the Telia challenge, which is the of flying PVLOS flights with using command and control over 5G network. And in that challenge, you can actually land to the boat if you can and if you want. And if you do so, then you will get definitely extra points for that one. But for the Telia challenge, it is not mandatory to land. But yeah, if you want to earn some more credits, then it's highly recommended.
Okay, thanks. And we cannot, I assume, we cannot put anything ourselves on the boat, no any markers or anything like that. It's just what it is.
Yeah, actually, that's a very good question. In a way, for the STARA challenge, for the U-Blocks and Septentrio challenge, that is definitely related on the GPS and RTK location what you receive, and you should be able to cope with that information. But in the STARA challenge, this is actually what, to be honest, we haven't been discussed this one yet in details with with Stara, but I would assume that it's okay if there is, for example, the tag what you want to use for better accuracy and so on. I would say that could be definitely possible in the Stara challenge. But who we have in line from the Stara?
Paavo.
Paavo.
Yes,
yeah.
I said that's okay. We must discuss, but I think that what Tero was saying is quite okay.
Yeah, because anyway, it is quite for the drone logistic scenarios. It is quite common that there is a specific landing pad, and that is optimized for AI or for the visual, the camera and the machine learning in a way to improve the performance of landing. So that's pretty much basically the standard scenario in most of the or many drone logistics solutions. So for that one, I would say that for the Stara challenge that would be definitely possible.
Yes, and like I said, that the challenge is push up the drone services in Finland and also in Europe.
Exactly.
Great, thank you. Yeah, that answers the question perfectly. Thanks.
All right. Is there any other questions out there? Any questions? Okay. I put now in the chat. I don't know if you can see, but you will get also, like, after this meeting, all the participants gonna get an email where you can get also the link for applying for the challenge. So don't forget that you have until 17th of May for apply, and make sure that you call all your friends and you go look for people to form a team. It's always nicer to have a team so you get like a backup plan in case something happens as well. And feel free to reach out to me or Jana if you feel like you want help to find a teammate or you want help to understand more about the challenge. We will be like available to clarify all your questions. I will just ask one more time if there is no questions left before we close the meeting, or any clarification that the partners want to give, or any comment that you want to give as well.
For my part, Paavo, I'm very thankful to get all the people who is joining in this meeting now, and I hope we see in forward in summer and in the spring. Thank you for me.
Thank you so much, Paavo. All right, it is great to have all of you here. We from UltraHack want to thank you so much for your presence. I don't know if someone else has any like last words to say before we close the webinar. No? Oh, Tero has something to say.
No, I didn't have, but I can say that I'm pretty excited. We've been trying this so many years already, and because of the COVID, it's been postponed. But I'm very happy to see that finally this is happening, and I think that we're gonna have an excellent, very interesting competition tournament going on.
Yes, I believe so as well. And I want to thank one more time everyone here. Make sure that you apply by 17th of May. And thank you so much. I hope you have a great afternoon or night. And I hope to see you soon in the drone tournament and the challenge workshop that is coming soon.
Thank you. Bye-bye.
Bye-bye. Thank you.
Thank you. Bye.
Thank you. Bye.
Thank you. Bye-bye.
me